Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tackle Productions. Today I am Bancroft being joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, Matt, and like always, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What's
Hey,
going on?
everybody.
What up, people?
And like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. But today's matchup is Matt versus Jake. Gogeta versus Skillless Gohan. These are both decks that are at our locals. When you think of these decks, these are the people you think of for them. So guys, take it away.
Guys, this is a really weird game. I'll just let you all know on the front end, it's a very strange game. It's not a bad game, it's just odd the way it ended up playing out.
Yeah, I remember saying 3 or 4 times after this game finished, like, that was weird. Like, this is one of the weirdest games of Dragon Ball I've played.
It's, we've played each other with these decks so many times. It's pretty much one of those things where, you know, unless one person just gets a substantially better hand, it's just first person to make a mistake. And that's pretty much how this one ends, is first person to make a mistake.
Yeah, and it's really hard to know, like, exactly when the hits are coming with your deck. I mean, I've played a lot of Gogeta, but I played it with the Bulma engine, and that was, like, a lot slower build. And I feel like, especially with your leader being able to restand 2 energy, there are a couple of, like, play lines you have where you can just kind of come out of nowhere and blow me out if I'm not careful defensively.
Yeah, one thing I've done, this version of the deck, I haven't done it yet, but I'm taking out the Gotenks Unison. I just don't play it anymore. The deck is, theoretically designed for turn 3. You cast your Gogeta, or actually, excuse me, I'm speaking out of order. You play your Gotenks, then you awaken, restand your 2 energy, get your Gogeta on the board so that your Gotenks gets up to, I think it'll be 6, and then you -5 it, and all on one turn. On turn 3, you just bring tremendous pain. And I haven't done that in forever, because it leads you so wide open to the crackback, and it's almost impossible to beat somebody on turn 3 anyway, unless you're playing something super aggro. But I'm going to take out the Gotenks completely and shift to the Piccolo Unison from set 11. But as far as this game is concerned, I play this. I typically don't go off until turn 4 anymore, because I'd like to be able to play my Gogeta and then restand my energy to have enough for Violent Rays or what have you. Like this game here, we were kind of like that one Simpsons joke, and now we play the waiting game, because I kept trying to bait Jake into playing his 1-drops so that I could. I think I started the game with it. Is that all you got? And he took his time in playing them, so I was never really able to use the card for as much value as I would normally get with it.
Yeah, red and green are the hardest matchups for this deck, because you really can't go all in with your skillless battle cards, because it's so easy to get 2 for 1 off of a dormant potential. Is that all you got? There's a new red negate coming out where you could just choose your opponent's whole board and give it -10. Like, just wild.
Like this, and I started out with what I thought was a really solid hand. I think I started the game with Gohank's SCR Unison, a King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, and I think maybe a Violent Rays. I never really got the chance to neg stuff as much as I would have liked, and I think I make some sequencing errors on the final turn. Because what are we on turn? Jake, you went first, so is this your turn 3?
Yeah. This is the first turn that I can play the dragon.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's got a really unique flavor where you kind of combine the 2 skillless 1-drops and it makes a new card. It's not exactly what's happening, but it's, kind of like that. And just the value of the card is really good for 1 energy.
I mean, it gives everybody barrier, right?
No, just gives all your skilllesses 5k.
Oh, okay.
And then He's got dual attack. You're thinking of Ox King.
Okay, yeah. No, giving them 5k is useful, because I think at one point I play an imposing presence that doesn't kill one, because it gets the 5k. It gets the 5k boost or something.
Exactly. And it's like a constant boost as long as flying high is on field. So, there's no time for the imposing presence to kill it.
Yeah.
That's right, 'cause it's a permanent compared to most bonus effects.
Yeah, most are like autos and things like that. Yellow's pretty good about having some of their effects be in the pink text and having that quick speed, as it were.
Yeah, this card has always like been an enigma to me, because like when you play it, it's always like the least expected time for you to play it. Because I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm like, okay, he's just gonna Dougie on me with all these skill assists, and you're like, oh no, flying high, and I'm like, I wasn't prepared for the 25k, bro. Like, can we like take a step back? Like, every single time, like the card's just so good for what it is.
It's actually the reason why I like this deck originally. I played it just because for yellow, it could be a very aggro deck with the right cards on board. Because the leader cycles your skill list back to the board. We know Jake plays the 1-drop Unison that plays 2 more skill lists. So as long as you have flying on the board, you're technically having 15Ks just swing. And you combo here, but you don't really need to combo because... Actually, yeah, why are you comboing?
He imposing presence.
Okay.
So it's just a 5k.
I missed the negate. Okay.
Here I'm just trying to force him to awaken to keep him off of that extra energy on his turn. And if I remember correctly, he very wisely just chooses not to.
Yeah, I just keep taking the hits, because I'm thinking I go into the next turn, get my Gogeta on the board, awaken, have 2 open energy, and then I can topo, I can violent raise, I can do all sorts of delightful things.
So, Jake, to talk about the combo card here, Marichim, we discussed this deck quite a bit, and I think we all decided that Marichim was a pretty decent inclusion for a game ender. How did that work out for you from the testing?
So actually, this weekend, Marichim actually came up more as a 0-5 combo than it did me actually testing it. But just that alone was enough to make it better than the 17 and 18 I was playing in this slot. Also, the fact that Marichim only takes 1 specified blue energy is really good for this deck, because that's usually the amount we have charged. So if you ever need to end the game, especially against a color that can rip something out during the battle, or like an opponent is playing Heroine's Lineage or something, Marichim's always a good option to end the game with.
Which, that reminds me, do you run Heroines, Jake, with this deck?
No, I play the Ascension run in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was so clever, because I play, here in a little bit, I play Strategies of U7 after I get my Gogeta out this turn. And I'm just, so satisfied with myself, thinking, well, if he runs Heroine's Lineage, he's not going to get anywhere with that.
Yeah, here I'm just putting a dice to show the... Should be 3, 1 for each 5k, but he's minus 15 right now.
Heroine's Lineage really is the punish against the Gogeta player. And at that point, like Matt and I have talked about it before, one out to Heroine's Lineage is to run your own Heroine's Lineage. So if your opponent takes your Gogeta, you just take it back.
I am debating that, because I'm probably going to play Gogeta this weekend with the Piccolo Unison instead of the Gotenks, and I love the Gohanks SCR so much, but I mean, it seems like every time I lose, it's more often than not Heroines is involved. That, and it's it's a fantastic card. It yanks a boss monster and gives you a boss monster of your own.
Well, and like, I think you and Jake are experiencing one and the same problem with like the Gohanks and then the Murray Chim. So the Murray Chim effect is really good. The Gohanks effect is really good. But in order to resolve those, you have to dedicate 4 energy in one turn, which is a lot of energy for either deck, especially in the case of Jake's deck, where maybe he gets the ability to restand his energy by other effects. But during that turn, when you're spending 4 energy, you can either spend that 4 energy on a Murray Gem or 4 energy performing numerous other micro actions.
I mean,
Such
frankly,
as, like,
you shouldn't. I'm sorry, Fluff. Go ahead.
No, I mean, that's.
I was going to say, like, frankly, unless you're using Gohanks defensively, you really shouldn't play him until turn 5. I mean, unless you're just in a situation where you're desperate and you have to clear your opponent's board. You know, he's a turn 5 game ender. You know, because you need the minus, because the -4 is fantastic. It's, makes him 40k triple strike dual attack. He's still fantastic to play him for 4 defensively. You pretty much wipe their board completely, and you've got a fantastic blocker on the board. But I as a general rule, unless I'm playing like Gogeta Black or something that's just overwhelming me, I'm not going to play him until turn 5.
Yeah.
You managed to work a lot of cards out of my hand a turn. And,
and we're coming up on where I blow the game here, and I'll go ahead and say the play. I've got, I think, 2 Violent Rays in hand. I've got a Topo in hand, and I've got an Imposing Presence in hand. And Jake is getting ready to swing, and I just get cute, and I play the Imposing Presence instead of just, what I should have done is just play one of the damn Violent Rays. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. No need to get cute with the Imposing Presence. And I can play the Imposing Presence, down the road if I need to buy stuff to survive. But I failed to negate this attack, and he does something he finishes the game here on something just really unexpected. I mean, a fantastic play on his part, just something I did not see, did not even fathom was going to happen on the leader swing.
Okay, so I'm a bit confused. We're like 12, 13 minutes in the round.
Yeah, no, it ends. I mean, I sit around counting for like 2 minutes to see if there's any way I can get an extra 5k combo power. But no, I mean, and maybe it just recorded long, but he ends it right here.
Huh.
Wow, Bancroft didn't do his job.
I think we might let it run long. I think we didn't hit end. But here I play Final Flash and turn off the skills on the Gogeta. I asked him before combat if he procced Gogeta's auto.
And I said, no, why would I want to proc it on leader swing?
Yeah. Which is admittedly kind of a mind game. Because if he does, I just simply continue my turn in a different way. But since he didn't here, I can deny him that effect for the rest of the turn.
Yep.
And I'm noticing my leader's power is getting so high here that I feel like I can just go for the game. I don't need to continue my turn. I can just end it right here.
There it is. I figured that was the case. You have the clutch card.
Yeah.
And because if he does not end the game here, like if I had played the Violent Rays, I'm fairly confident I would have won based on what was in my hand. A second Violent Rays, the Gohanks SCR. I think, my Gogeta on the board, even with its skills negated for his turn, I think I probably could have finished him the next turn because I ripped a lot of cards from his hand. But not ripped them. I forced him to use them as resources the turn before.
We talk a lot about how Matt is really good about seeing the minor mistake and going for the throat. But right there, Jake just proved that he's also extremely good at it.
Yeah,
which is one of the reasons that I say that you two push me in ways that other players don't sometimes. Because I know that if I do make one of those small, innocent, seemingly not big mistakes, the game's just over.
And Jake, I mean, it's a fantastic play, and it's a fantastic card. I mean, it's a lot of people just. It's the old Monty Python joke. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects Champa the Destroyer. Or is that the card's name?
Yeah, I run the Kai, but it's the same effect.
I mean,
Furthering Destruction Champa is the name of the
Furthering Destruction Champa. Thank you. It's like nobody, it's people don't prep for those. I'm in a situation where I'm like, well, I'm not going to negate. It's a single striker. I wouldn't certainly don't mind having the extra life as a resource, and then I'll. Finish him next turn. But that was not to be. It was just and here I'm just shuffling, looking to see if there's some way I can BS, find combo power I missed, or, a 5K modifier or something, but I just don't have it. I mean, that's a hell of a way to lose a 2 open energy and a topo, and
yeah,
it
that's
happens.
rough. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I didn't think I was going to be able to get another attack. And the fact that you said no on the auto on the leader swing.
look at that hand.
Yeah, there was no way I was getting in the rest of the turn. So I had to go for it right here.
2 after images, a Violent Rays. Is that all you got? A Go Hanks SCR. Just demoralizing.
Jake, if I was in your situation right now, I would be sweating bullets because with the amount of cards that he had in hand, if he did not, thinking that he could have the ability just to combo over 40,000, which is a relatively low going for game number, with a hand that fat, I would be sweating bullets in that situation.
Absolutely.
Kind of doing the math in my head, and he spent 2 energy earlier in the game, or 1 energy earlier in the game on Power of a Super Saiyan, and then spent that combo power to fuse, and then put 10k more combo power on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hadn't given much of to
You mean
use
Birth of a
negates in the
Super
early
Saiyan?
turns. Yeah, my bad.
No, yeah. Power is the yellow one.
Yeah,
the yellow
that's
SR.
what I was using.
Yeah.
My bad. That's it right there. But I kind of just felt like I could get there, even on. I lost 5, so that's.
I need to go back through
like
the deck.
50k. That's like nothing.
And with that being said, hope you all enjoy this match as much as Matt did. But keep in mind, while Fluff does the outro, there's buttons on the screen for you to click.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I didn't realize Gogeta was getting so popular in Hermetic because Matt and Aaron played it this week, which I love to see. I love the deck. And seeing the 2 different takes on the deck, Matt being a certified master of Gogeta, and then Aaron returning. It was just a lot of fun, but congrats to Jake for snatching that win out of nowhere. Took a gamble, and it paid off. But check out these videos that are floating around right here. Check out our other content. Let us know what you'd like to see in the comments below. Read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And as always, Fluff out.